Alaska is a part of United States or separate part, maybe. How do you feel about this?
Right. So Alaska is separated by big distance and by the country of Canada from the rest of the United States. So it does feel like almost like its own independent place. I mean, we spend U.S. currency and we have federal laws that still apply to us, but for the most part, I think most people in Alaska feel like that they're Alaskans more than they're American. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, hunting is actually very popular here. People go hunting for mostly, I guess, the most popular animal to hunt is bears. People, especially I think it's the black bears. We have way too many black bears here, especially around the Anchorage area, and it's actually encouraged for people to go and hunt black bears. And if you get a bear, you have a lot of meat you can put in the freezer, and you have lots of food for the winter. It's what people do, I guess. So it's very popular. I've done it a couple of times, but I've never actually shot the bear myself because I don't know. It's something I know a little bit about, but it's not my biggest activity, I guess. Yeah. I would say that in terms of random crime, like walking down the streets, sitting in your house, sleeping at home, that it's very safe. The crime that we have trouble with, I think, is people who are angry with each other. So like when a fight escalates from you know we're arguing with each other, we're mad at each other. Oh, I'm going to go grab my gun and shoot you. That's when we have problems. With gun crime. I think in Alaska. So if I don't know.
Like the main dish, the most famous one.
Rice seems to be the main dish among the islands in the Caribbean. You combine the rice, chicken with pork, with meat, red meat with fish. So rice is a very important part of the menu. Fish is something that we eat a lot. We fry the fish in oil, take oil, seasoning, and we fry the fish. And there's things called fritters, which are made out of some sort of dough, and they're stuffed with meat or with anything that we can think of, and we also fry that. So fried food is something very normal in the Caribbean. It's not very healthy, but it is really good. Uh,
Do you add spices?
yes, like islands like Jamaica and some of the French islands, they spice the food very heavily, so it's very spicy. Other islands they put spices, but they just add more flavor. It is not that spicy, which is different. And we have taken some dishes too from Spain. Uh, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the plantain. The plantain is a vegetable. It's a tree, and basically we fry it, we boil it, or we cook it in the oven. So it's a very good vegetable that we use a lot.
Which one is that?
Plantain.
Plantain. As can you type it? Can you type it? Let's add it to chat.
Let me see if I can.
You just
Yeah,
need to
type
click.
I
Click.
can
Uh-huh.
plantain. Oh, let me see the name here. Plantain. There you go. We take that and there's many things that we do with it. We fry it. We can cook it in the oven. Uh, we can do some sort of it's like a cake and basically we put a layer of plantain. We put meat. We put cheese. We put another layer of plantain.
Yeah.
So first of all, this right here shows you that you guys are roughly, I mean, the country is about almost 10,000 kilometers from me.
Mm-hmm.
And we still use miles. So to me, 6,100 miles, right, or 6,100 is about what I can relate to. But if you know the distance, 9,800 kilometers, I mean, that's how far we are. Right? And then let's see if I change it. Can you see this? Did I just change this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this one right here is the gross domestic product. You know what that is, right? Like how much each country sells.
Now,
I don't know if you see
right now we can see a map of U.S. states, just black and white.
Right. Exactly. Now, do you see the Ukraine right here?
Yeah.
Ukraine?
Actually, yes.
And Hungary right here?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just that state, just one state is actually the same production output financially as your country. So just one state here, like for example, Texas is Brazil. As you know, Brazil is the biggest country in South America. So our state of Texas generates a lot of money, as like a country, So each one of these are like countries, in America. We have a bunch of countries all put together with one government. Okay, I mean federal government, kind of like the way USSR was before, the Social Republic.
That's interesting. I'm so surprised that such map exists. I've never seen such one before.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, this was done by a professor here in America, just to kind of give you an idea of how big America is and how much money America makes. Okay, it's not to show off; it's just to show why America, You have to remember, America is not just me. I'm half Korean, right? But over here, Americans are just human beings. We're just people. So black people, Russian people, Ukrainians, it doesn't matter. We're all the same. Okay. Okay, good. Las Vegas is kind of like our gambling capital. Now that gambling is allowed in a lot of states now. Okay, so it's not just Las Vegas, but Las Vegas got started by gangsters. Trying to, legalize gambling, okay, and drinking, and all that stuff.
And then there's this one place, it's a rocky outcropping. It's a mountain that's basically stone that's come up from the earth. And it's just this giant mountain. You can look it up. It's called Stone Mountain, or Kamienny Gor. Yeah, and it's just this big granite outcropping, which back in the 50s they carved this big carving into it. For example, there's a lot of illegal immigrants that'll come from Mexico, or from Cuba, or from or Haiti, the islands in the Caribbean, and they'll come up here, and there's still some racism towards black people, towards Hispanic people. Like, you can drive to a gas station. And at a lot of gas stations, there will be a group of Hispanic people who aren't U.S. citizens, and they'll be standing next to the gas station. And you drive up and say, "All right, get in the back, and we'll go and take you to work." That's a fairly common thing. And then that's more so in the South than in the North.